Differential attention to children is not merely a function of the fact that mothers are more frequently in the home. In Israel, where children are cared for during the day in nurseries while both parents work, mothers are still far more frequently involved in childcare duties and spontaneous interaction with the child at the end of the day than fathers. Sagi, Lam, Shoam, Der, and Lukovich, 1985. Lam, Frodi, Hwang, Frodi, and Steinberg, 1982, took advantage of innovative Swedish legislation that allowed either parent to take 9 months of paid leave after their child's birth in order to examine child rearing under the most liberal of gender role conditions. The leave could be divided between 72. Mothers matter most, women and parental investment. The parents as they wished. The take-up of this opportunity was revealing. Between the introduction of the legislation in 1974 and data collection in 1979, less than 15% of fathers took leave and the majority of those that did took 1 month or less. Most fathers took this leave at the same time as their wife, and the extent of their actual contribution to child care is hard to ascertain. The researchers originally identified 52 couples, half of whom planned to take paternal leave for 1 month, the non-traditionals, and half of whom had no plans for paternal leave. At recontact 1 year after the birth, only 17 of the original 26, non-traditional, fathers had actually taken the month of leave. The researchers reclassified the families on this basis and analyzed observational data that they collected in the home. In both traditional and non-traditional families, mothers more often than fathers displayed affectionate behavior, vocalized, smiled, tended, held, disciplined, and soothed the infant. Of all the factors that have contributed to the central importance of the mother over evolutionary time, perhaps the most critical is male reproductive strategy. Men's quest for novelty and variety in their sexual life increases their chances of both death and desertion, leaving the mother firmly holding the baby. In animal species, polygyny is associated with earlier death among males. In part, this results from the dangers of male-male competition and from the generalized risky behavior of young men. In England and Wales, the male-to-female ratio for deaths from external causes is at its most extreme at ages 15 to 24 years, when it reaches nearly 4 to 1, Office of Population Censuses and Surveys, 1995. However, even males who survive past their peak reproductive years still die earlier than do females, and it is the mother who must shoulder the full burden of infant care. About 7% of children living in single-parent homes in the United States do so as a result of the death of one parent, Weinraub and Gringlers, 1995. But men's polygynous inclinations more often increase the likelihood of desertion than death. Even in officially monogamous societies, men seek more pre- and extramarital affairs than women, Daly and Wilson, 1988, Fisher, 1993. Men's preference for youth and physical beauty in sexual partners means that as their wives age, younger women become increasingly attractive and divorce more likely. After divorce, men are more likely than women to select younger partners, to remarry, and to produce further children in their second marriages. Buckle, Gallup, and Rod, 1996, Johanna, Forsberg, and Tolberg, 1995. Jokler, Rotkirch, Rickard, Pette, and Lumar, 2010, Carr, Jokler, Merriler, Heller, and Cajola, 1998. When divorce happens, the burden of parental care is almost always taken up by the mother. In no country do mothers abandon the children at the rate which fathers do. Geary, 2000. In the United States, custody is awarded to the mother in over 85% of cases. Furstenberg, Morgan, and Pursuing Half the Point. 73. Allison, 1987. When fathers remain the principal caretaker, it is usually the result of the mother's incompetence or desertion. It is rare for fathers to contest the custody of the child. Grief, 1985. After divorce, only 1 in 6 fathers maintains regular contact with his child, and about half of absent fathers fail to pay monetary support for their upkeep. Men do not always wait until after marriage to desert. In 2008, 41% of births in the United States and 44% in the United Kingdom were to unmarried women. Center for Disease Control and Prevention, N.D. About 1/3 of these births were to lone women, while the remainder were to cohabiting couples. It is estimated that 43% of cohabiting parents, compared